literally the month after I left trading to become a loan officer, I closed $4.3 million of loans in my first month. And
all right, so there wasn't much struggle for you.
I got lucky because also timing is so important in this market, right? So I went from helping them trade stocks to help them with their financing. Really interesting dynamic. But again, it complemented something that I was already good at. I always feel like I will take on something new as long as it complements and enhances my skill set and ability I already have.
Guys, today I have a very special guest for you. We have Jim Black. He is the number 32, I believe, 32 ranked mortgage broker in Scotsman Guide, which is pretty awesome, man. I mean, there's so many freaking mortgage brokers in the US, and to be top 50 is an incredible feat.
Thanks, I appreciate that, Alex. Thank you so much. Honored to be here. And every day you work hard and you hustle and you just hope that you take care of people. And there's no secret. You just have a passion for something that you love and enjoy, and hopefully the results show your effort and your focus and dedication. So.
Right, absolutely. And for our audience, my main goals for these type of interviews are just what can we take away to help them better their careers, right? How do we you're already at the top, how do we send down the ladder for people to climb up with you, right? So that's the whole idea here. So I really appreciate you hopping on with me. I'm sure we're going to go over a lot today and learn a lot today, but really what I'd like to do is, it seems, I mean, how long have you been in the business? I think it's been 20 plus years, correct?
About 22 years. That's correct.
22 years, right? So you're an absolute veteran. They say you need 10,000 hours of doing something to be an expert. I think you've doubled that.
Thank you so much.
Right. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a fun career and never a dull moment. So,
and I'm sure there was ups and I'm sure there were downs and everything in between. I'm always interested to know, like, what's your origin story, right? Most people as loan officers, this is not their first job. Was it your first job? Was it your second job? Like, how did you start? How were things going at first? I want to hear your origin story.
Sure, absolutely. So I was a trader on Wall Street for an investment bank, and I managed about 50 stocks on the NASDAQ trading floor for this company, one of the largest banks in the world. And my job was from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. Because I was here on the West Coast time in the Bay Area, trading on New York hours. So a lot of early mornings, getting to work before everyone else is sleeping pretty much. And I was in a really amazing environment to have brought about 200 companies public during the tenure I worked in that as a trader. And it was crazy. I was in my early 20s, like 21, 22 years old, and clicking a button with the mouse, right? Using my mouse pad, making people billionaires or bankrupt pretty much in a matter of clicks. That's a really a big exaggeration in terms of the actual outcome, but it just was a lot of pressure.
High risk.
Someone who's 22 years old, and a lot of my friends that were doing this could not understand that it was not their money. It was the house's money. So they live these lavish lifestyles. There would be days where I would make $5 million of profit, literally $5 million. And there were days where I would lose $5 million. And it was a very stressful environment. And my mentor was my late uncle, who passed away of brain cancer. He had a lot of wealth and a lot of resources, and it did not matter at the end of the day for him. He could not, his health could not be saved. You could not buy your health with cancer. And so he taught me early on, Jim, follow a career where you help people, you make a difference, leave an impact, and help them. You're a trader now, you do a great job with that, but you're just making wealthy people wealthier. You're not helping the masses. So I got the opportunity to switch over to lending in 2002. And it's been a career of mortgages and helping people with their largest financial decision in their lives from then on forward. And I've helped I think 8,400 families now, roughly. Whoa. So it's pretty cool because I learn through other people's stories, right? We all have a different way of getting to our goal in life. We have got to goals that I would love to learn about from people. So I look at the interview process of you interview me is the same thing back and forth. I learn from everyone that I talk to about ways to live my life or different perspectives that maybe I didn't have before. So I started as a trader on probably the most stressful job you can have. Had one friend pass away in his sleep in his late 20s, and was a healthy guy, and just the pressure was there that was not worth it. So I went from the sprint to the marathon approach, where we help families, and as you probably know, it's not uncommon to get a call on the weekend or get a call at nighttime or early in the morning, and that's our job. We're signed up to help people with big emotional and financial decisions. And right now we're in the middle of 2023, and it's kind of a stressful environment where you have rates not going really in our favor. The cost to borrow money has gone up 3x and 3x in the last 24 months. Right now, you can tell who has a passion for helping and who does not. And I love these environments because we continue to get more volume in business and market share, because we truly love helping people. And if you have that mindset in any career, in anything you're doing, you're going to find that you can succeed when other people are failing or making excuses not to succeed. So I welcome these environments, and
100%.
Yeah,
that makes sense. What was the transition like? Look, I have my group of friends. We have a core group of friends in Scottsdale. There's about like 20 of us. I swear 75% of them are loan officers. And when I talk to them, it's like, and I was there when they were first starting out. And it's tough when you're first starting out, right? Trying to build your book of business. How was that transition for you? Because you went from this super, super successful job where you could make $5 million with a click of a button to a absolute grind, right?
Yep.
How was that transition for you? Were you questioning yourself? Like, did you make the right decision?
Great question. So I believe that whenever you make any type of career shift or any type of change, it should hopefully complement the skill set you already have, or the values you already have, or the relationships you already have. So as a trader, I had brokers that had books of business that managed their clients' stock portfolios, and they knew me as the trader. I was Jimmy Black on the NASDAQ. And that transition, literally the month after I left trading to become a loan officer, I closed $4.3 million of loans in my first month. And
there wasn't much struggle for you.
I got lucky because also timing is so important in this market, right? If you enter at a place when rates are going higher, that's a tough environment to be in. Well, in 2002, 2003, rates had been going lower. So fortunately, a lot of the people that I work with in my other financial job trusted me with big decisions. So they trusted that their clients would also be taken care of. So I went from helping them trade stocks to help them with their financing. Really interesting dynamic. But again, it complemented something they was already good at. So you'll see a lot of guys in my industry. They do so many different things, and I do a lot of different things. I'm a fintech investor, advisor, some startups, and have a bunch of companies. But I always feel like I will take on something new as long as it complements and enhances my skill set and ability I already have.
Yeah.
So I'm not going from being a mechanic to a librarian, for example, but I'm going, if I'm well-rounded in financial services, then why not learn a new product, as long as it does not take away from my skill set and my core products that I'm good at. I'm not going to sell insurance, because if I don't give the best insurance policy in the world out there, then it doesn't make me look strong as a professional or as an experienced veteran. So got to be careful what you mix yourself up with. And I'm very lucky that I just stay with the core objectives of the largest financial decision in life. And if you do that, you get to help first-time home buyers, veterans, people with reverse mortgages, people that should rent versus buy, very wealthy people that have 50 to 100 properties. It's humbling to me that every day I can talk to a myriad of different groups of people, and I treat them all with respect. I talk with them, not at them. And
that's huge.
Yeah, you just got to have that skill set. And I think in this industry, having higher EQ or emotional quotient is better than having a higher IQ.
You're absolutely right. And one of the things that you touched on before that I wanted to circle back with was you were talking about how you love this time in the market because it's almost like you weed out the weak, right? You weed out the people who aren't in it for the right reasons. And I saw a perfect example of this because I used to own a mortgage lead generation company. And what we saw was everybody was panicking because they were all doing great during the refinance boom. But you know what what that turned them into? Order takers, right? They weren't building rapport. They weren't building relationships. They were taking orders, and they got so used to that they didn't want to do anything else. They didn't want to put in the effort or the relationship building. And all of those people, I mean, that's the reason why 33% of loan officers didn't have a job at the end of that last year, right? For that very reason. So, when you see people like that are being weeded out, I think it's a good thing, right? Because it kind of raises the floor for people, as far as from a quality standpoint, of people actually, the consumer actually being cared about and taken care of. Those people, I mean, I'm sure that was a lot of people had to make like a conscious transition to do that. It sounds like you were already doing that this whole time. It just sounds like that's your philosophy. So
100%,
it was super easy for you to do, right? But what do you have?
My favorite stat, by the way, when I look at these reports, or Scotsman Guide this, or whatever company reports, the ones I care about are purchase volume percentage and number of units, because that tells me people are in the game to help families with the largest decision, again, in life, right? They're getting people into homes, and they also, if someone in Tennessee does 400 purchase units, that person I admire and look up to, because where I live in Northern California, specifically the Bay Area, our average price point's a lot higher. So I'm doing less units with the same type of volume that someone maybe on the East Coast or Midwest is doing, just working their tails off, even harder than myself. So that's one big thing. And I would say my favorite stat that I think is the most important stat is this kind of stat right here. If you can see this or not.
Yep.
So purchase versus refinance, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in any market, I've always been 70% purchase in any market.
Right.
So I don't make as much. Yeah. And I don't get as many refinance clients when everyone else, when the rates go really low, I'm not accelerating my business as high as others are that are just like lead generation or call center type people. But I also, in these markets, I don't really suffer either. So my income is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And this is something I always do, which would be kind of funny to do on your podcast. If this is my paycheck, right? My paycheck, it's still 70%.
Right.
Right now. This part is gone, but I'm still getting enough to live my life and comfortably and do what I need to do. So that's always my mindset, is like refinances or bonuses. They're a payback for working hard, helping someone get into a house, and you hope that you'll help them numerous times with their needs. And it doesn't mean rates have to go lower to help them. It just means they have to have a life event that you can help them with and guide them through. So I'm a big believer in that. And I have some cool tools that I use around that. I use Milestones, which is a home ownership hub.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is Milestone?
So Milestones is a homeownership hub where in one virtual place, you have a financial backpack with every important document and every important relationship that matters to you as a client.
Okay.
So my job, I believe, is to help fill voids in clients' needs. You don't have a estate planner and you have kids, maybe you should get a trust. You don't have a CPA and you're self-employed. That's a big mistake. So my goal in the process of getting a loan is not to do it so quickly that I become robotic, but it's to take my time to have a consultative concierge approach to saying, Alex, that's awesome. You just had a kid 2 months ago. Have you talked to a financial planner about a college savings plan? Are you retiring? Have you looked into reverse mortgage? Have you talked to your broker or your wealth advisor about these tools? So that's my goal, is I'm trying to fill those things with people and surround that client with the best resources. And that's what the homeownership hub is all about.
Right. And I'm sure you have to do a lot of relationship building to do that, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just have a virtual backpack. Yeah. It's pretty cool. You basically put everything in this backpack, client has it for life. And then guess what? When they need me, I'm available. I'm not bugging them with like flyers or recipes for pumpkin pie. I'm not bugging them with things that aren't relevant, but when they need me, I'm like the bat loan man. The signal goes up and I'm there for them in a heartbeat. I know exactly what they need because I've put them around professionals and resources to empower them to make sure that they're learning about how to make better decisions in their life. So that's my goal. That's how I operate. And Milestones is a fantastic tool that allows me to capture the relationships, create a hub, and also let the borrower then learn about all the different choices and life events that happen. I want to be their lifestyle lender. I want to be there for all the life events. I think the word trusted advisors kind of been used a lot in the last 30 years. So I just think of myself as a lifestyle lender.
Right.
Your lifestyle changes or there's a life event, I'm here for you.
Right. And I think there's something to be said about having that all in one place, because that would mean that your wealth advisor and all these different types of advisors are working in continuity with each other, which is important, right? Because a lot of times you'll get like all these different types of wealth advisors and they're not necessarily working in continuity with each other on the overall wealth strategy.
Yep. And I'm lucky. I'm licensed in about 30 states. So what's nice about that, as a broker, that's very rare. As a bank, that's all very easy because it's federal regulation. But as a broker, being licensed in that many states, I can create unique relationships in all parts of the country.
Right.
And I use tools like Milestones to help me with that. Like I do a lot of NFL loans. I help a lot of NFL players, and they get traded, they get drafted, they move,
Right.
They retire, they buy multiple homes. So what's really cool about that is I can use Milestones or other tools like that to keep all the people that are important to that client engaged with all the updates, information that consumer or client has one place to go to get their home warranty or their closing statement or their insurance documents. All that stuff is put in that place, and the client gets to choose how much information is shared amongst the partners in that hub.
Oh, very cool.
So maybe you don't want your realtor to see your financial picture because you don't want the realtor to call you every day about buying more homes.
Right,
So you can turn off, right? You can turn off things that, or maybe your credit score is a little lower and you're like, I don't want my financial planner to see how I missed my credit card payment. I better turn that off. But it's just a way to get everyone engaged, and it lets me build more relationships across the country with other like-minded people that have clients in bigger spheres of influence.
Right.
So out of one loan, I probably get 14 to 18 different contacts or relationships. So That's my secret sauce.
That's awesome. No, that sounds, how long has Milestones been around?
It's a newer company. The platform's been live for about a year now. Okay. And it's a fantastic tool. I'd be happy to share any information about Milestones. Maybe share the link afterwards for people to check it out. But
you would go to HTTPS. Well, it's just milestones.ai.
Exactly.
Right? Milestones.ai is where you're going to want to go. And then you have a second product, I believe, right?
Right now, one of the hardest things that we see in our marketplace, Alex, is like people have a low interest rate, right? So they're at 2.5%, 3%. They don't have a lot of motivation to move because they're going to pay double or triple.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Right? Yeah. So what that does is it puts the fear in people to not do anything. So they kind of stall out. Well, in the same regard, maybe a surprise listing comes up near their parents' house, or they get a job relocation, whatever it might be. They aren't normally prepared to be able to sell and then buy. They want to be able to hopefully buy something before they sell in case they don't find a place to live. Then they're in a rental property. Maybe they have animals or special needs or have kids. It just creates a lot of headaches. So we have a product called the trade-in mortgage, and that allows people to buy before they sell. And that product is really cool because it's a national product, and it allows someone to basically have their home, have up to 5 months to sell it traditionally, but also have a purchase price guarantee, which means they're able to have a guaranteed price on their home to sell, but they also have the ability to buy something before they end up doing that. So it creates that really cool position for like maybe a senior citizen or someone that's looking for a really specific thing to go look and know that they don't have to do anything on their current house until they've secured or found that next house. And right now, we're like last month, the stats came out, there was only 70,000 new units of construction built throughout the United States. 70,000 was it. And we got 12, 13 million millennials and baby boomers that need housing. So we have a major housing shortage. And like you're not going to sell your place because you don't probably need to move for a while, and you're got a great rate. It would actually be the worst thing you could do financially versus the right thing. So with that being said, it's great to have tools and products that make you different, that allow clients to make progress and have a call to action and have a vision of something that they can do that they don't think they can do. So that's the Trade and Mortgage powered by Calc. That's another site. Calc is spelled C-A-L-Q-U-E, Calc. It's a French spelling of the word. And anyways, it's a great company also. But I just love that as a mortgage broker, if we can create custom solutions, and there'll be people that I'm not a good fit with. I'm not going to be the lowest interest rate on LendingTree or bankrate.com. I have zero interest to do that. My goal is to really try to be a one-stop shop where I can create a Nordstrom's brand, customer service minded operation where I'm adding value that is not necessarily a difference of $12 in payment a month. It's more of the bigger picture things that are important in life and looking 10 years ahead, not looking transactionally, but just thinking about like, what's your vision 10 years from now? Is this a good idea or not? Let's talk through it and figure out the best solutions and the best resources to put around you.
Nice. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. And is Trade and Mortgage available in all 50 states?
It is available throughout the country. Yes, it's a really good product. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. So one last question I'm always interested to know. Every loan officer, they have different approaches to how they handle their phone calls, right? Are you doing are you hitting the phones hard, or are they just inbound for you? Because it seems like, you obviously have a great network, pretty established. But what advice do you have for the people that are kind of in the trenches, the ones that have to make 100 calls a day just to get a deal? What would your advice be, tactical advice that you can give them that they could implement right away and see it pay some dividends for them?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, I would say, look at your core values about what type of people that you're attracted to, the type of things you believe in, and make sure that you build your sphere around those people. Because if you are if your natural values are different than your work values, it's not fun. This job is not fun. You have to align the values that you stand for around people that have the same values, or clients or referral sources or products that do that. Because then guess what? You're who you are 24 hours a day. It's a natural relationship building activity because you're doing what you love, and getting business is kind of a bonus. That's the way I look at it. I'm lucky to have a simple name, Jim Black, right? My website is meetjimblack.com. Doesn't get much easier than that. So I'm fortunate that my name is very easy to remember. Right. That's an advantage, right? Like B of A, that's an easy name to remember, right? Yeah. 4 letters, right? I would say that for new loan officers, I would try to build my sphere around high velocity relationships. So if you're on a team, for example, if you're a loan officer, a team loan officer, or a junior loan officer, or even a senior loan officer, find other teams that have similar values and similar structures, because that's what those guys are looking for. They want teams. They don't want just Jim Black. They want team Jim Black. Because if they have a velocity of activity, let's say they have 30 leads coming in a week, if it's just one person, they're not going to be able to handle those 30 leads. So right size the opportunity with the platform that you're on. If you're a one-person show and you love doing reverse mortgages, then go work with the top financial planners and wealth advisors and realtors that work in just that specific market. If you're working with millennials, get involved with young person networks, get involved with a lot of the different things that are important to those people. Right. That's what I would say is you have to look at who you're targeting first and then build your business around that. Because that's what creates serendipity to me, is like, wow, Jim, you're lucky, you do a lot of business. It's not luck. It's just, I'm going to put myself in the highest exposure I can to get the most opportunities. I like to call it staying in the fray, right? If you stay in the fray of where all the action is, you're bound to get more results than being on the outliers of maybe doing lot loans for agricultural land or some other crazy thing that is so niche-y and so out there. Not to say, but.
And I think the main takeaway, especially for my audience, is, hey, you got to do all the work that you're talking about. That's outside the office work, right? Like don't just go in and clock out at 4 p.m. and then you're done for the day. because all the stuff that you're talking about, that networking and building those relationships, you can't do that when you're in the office. You got to go see people face to face. You got to go shake hands. And I think that rings true with any business, especially for me. When I had my lead gen agency, I think one of my biggest mistakes, one of my biggest regrets was I removed myself from the day-to-day operations, and I had support talk to all my customers. And we didn't have any loyalty because of that, right? Now with my software company, I am getting to know every single one of our clients, and it's already paid dividends. For example, we're in the Nexa marketplace right now,
Cool.
which is awesome. Like that was a huge win for us. That was through relationship building, right? So, I think that rings true in any business, right? Regardless of what industry you're in. So this has been awesome, Jim. Like this is really cool. I'm definitely going to check out for my audience, milestone.ai and then tradeandmortgage.com. If you guys are interested in those, definitely go check that out. Jim, I appreciate you hopping on the call. It's been super informative. I know a lot of people are going to benefit greatly from this interview.
Thanks, Alex. And just one last thing to leave with, just, follow what your passion is. If you love helping people, then you're in the right business. If you're trying to make a quick buck, probably not going to work out. And
Right.
I appreciate your time, Alex. And again, just life is never a dull moment, and enjoy do the things you love to do. And hopefully that creates success for you, and appreciate your time today. So
thanks so much. This has been awesome. You're such a cool guy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
All right. Now,
Cool.
so these softwares are pretty cool. And I love that you're a tech guy.
Yeah, I'm a seven-figure invested angel investor in 6 startups that are all Series A.
You want me to show you the coolest thing you'll ever see?
I want to see it all. Yeah, fire away. Show me.
All right. So here's how I came up with this. So I owned a lead generation company. And I'm an entrepreneur, like serial entrepreneur. I've had recruiting companies, I've had all these different companies. So I started a mortgage lead generation company, and I actually scaled it to $500,000 a month recurring revenue in under 11 months.
Congrats.
Thank you. Well, I did do that, right? Here's what happened. All right. So when the housing market, we were a high ticket service. We would charge anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month. And when the housing market took a turn for the worse, loan officers abruptly stopped buying our service.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They couldn't afford it. So we went from having 50 sales a month to 0, right? Oh my God. One month I lost like $368,000. It was nuts. And the company ended up actually failing, believe it or not. And I had to I think at the time, I'm like, all right, we had to get these people appointments. And I had to literally call like 75 customers and be like, hey, company's failing. This is my fault. I'm so sorry. How can I make this up to you? I can't give you 20 appointments that I owe you, but what I can do is give you leads. Here's 200 leads. How can we make this right? What can I do to make this right? And those 2 months were hard, man. I had to call, talk about facing your fears. I had to call pissed off customers. One guy told me to sell my house. One guy told me he was going to kill me. Like it was just not, it was not fun. However, those were few and far between. Most people were super nice, and they actually helped me start my new company. So here's what I realized.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And here's what I realized. Lead generation in the mortgage industry, it doesn't work. Okay. And it doesn't work for multiple reasons. Number one, marketing companies only spend about 20% of the money that you give them on ads. The rest goes to their overhead expenses, the salaries, the office space, the tools. So that means when you spend your marketing dollars with a lead gen company, 80% of your dollars are not even going directly to generating new leads. They're going to all that company's overhead expenses, right?
Yep.
Now, the other thing that I realized is that we talked to a bunch of loan officers, and we couldn't find one that has stuck with a lead gen company for more than 6 months, right? Why is that? So we start looking into this. Now, here's another thing that a lot of loan officers don't realize. What they do is they jump around from lead gen company to lead gen company looking for better quality leads, right? You've heard it. Oh, that lead gen company, their leads suck. Let me go find better ones. That is bullshit. Okay. Lead quality is a myth. Here's why. We have a law in place called the Fair Housing Act. The Fair Housing Act says that we cannot target people by income, loan amount, or credit score. What are the three most important factors when determining a good lead? Income, credit score, and loan amount, right?
Yep.
So if that's the case, and if that's true, and the name of the game is not finding good quality leads, then what is it about, right? Well, it's about the same thing that every business has been about since the beginning of time. Business 101. How do we acquire new customers for the lowest cost possible, right? So I'm like, well, shit. So here's what we have. And this is pretty, here's what we have, okay? So I'm gonna play this video for you, and then I'm gonna actually show you the software. Okay, this video is like 3 minutes.
Sure. Yeah, no worries.
And let me make sure I'm actually
real estate agents.
doing
Watch
the
this
sound.
video if you want to be able to get.
I can hear it.
Good, okay.
Mortgage brokers and real estate agents.
So when people say this lead generation, like when lead generation doesn't work for people, it's not about the company, and it's not that the company sucks or that the ad sucks. It's simply that the cost of doing business with a third-party service is not worth the return on your investment, right? So what we did was we created this software that allows you to launch proven mortgage ads in literally less than 5 clicks without having to log into Facebook. It's zero experience required. So now you never have to pay a lead generation company again, because what we do is we look online for the best performing mortgage ads. There's ways to look that up that are getting you a great cost per lead. And we simply templatize them and put them into a library for you so that you can launch them. So if I wanted to launch a ad, for example, it would literally take me less than 5 minutes. I would go to ad management. I would go to our library. I would click new campaign. I would click the mortgage folder, and I would choose one of these proven ads. I would simply click on the ad, put in my state, put in my daily budget, put in my website, and click launch. That's it. So now mortgage loan officers are never going to have to pay a lead generation company again. Every lead generation company, we all know each other. We all run the same ads. So all I'm doing is putting them into a library for them to easily access and launch. So the great part about this is what I did was I started an affiliate program. And what we do is we pay people $50 for every single user for the entire lifetime of their service with us. So it's very easy for me to go to an owner of a mortgage brokerage and say, hey, look, you own this company. How many loan officers do you have? You have 1,000? Okay. So you should get them all to use this, right? This software. You'll immediately start earning $50,000 a month, plus empowering and encouraging all of your loan officers to invest their own marketing dollars into your business, right? So it's a win-win for everybody. And that's how we got into the Nexa marketplace. We're growing really fast just by word of mouth, because people have been getting some pretty amazing results because their marketing dollars are not diluted. Instead of, only 20% of their marketing dollars going to generating them leads, they have 95% of their marketing dollars going into generating them leads.
Got it. What about videos and whatnot?
Yeah, you can absolutely add video ads. If I wanted to add a video ad, I would simply just go to add media and I could upload my own videos. You could completely customize these ads the way you want. You can edit the text. You can upload.
Can you show me what the video looks like? An example of a video?
We don't have any stock videos. Not yet, at least. Most of the ads that we have are still picture, but a lot of the loan officers in our groups will upload their own videos that are, completely customized to them.
Okay. What about, so if you collect 6 pieces of information, it's considered application.
So we show you how to get 2 types of leads, long form and short form leads.
Okay.
So we show you how to get just the name, phone number, and email, which should cost anywhere between $3 to $8 per lead. And then long form leads, where we get their estimated credit score, their annual household income, how much they're looking to borrow, when they're looking to borrow, if they rent or own. Those are long form leads. So we show you how to do both. It's not like we just give you the software and say good luck. It actually comes with complimentary coaching calls. We have coaching calls every Tuesday and Thursday at 11. So if you're stuck or if you have any issues at all, you could hop into the coaching call and get any help you need. The great part about this is I see everybody's ads from a sky high view. So if I can literally look at everybody's stats and I could say, hey, Jim, look at all the cost per lead in Florida for this specific ad. And I get everybody's cost per lead. Like right now, this is everybody's cost per lead. right? So we can see exactly what ad they're running, what their cost per lead is. And I could say, hey, this state's doing really well with this ad. That's what you would want to check out. So the power is in the community because everybody's helping each other. They hop on these coaching calls. And I truly believe we're going to bridge the gap between the average Joe and world-class marketers. Because if you're getting, again, if what we're saying about the Fair Housing Act is true, well, then the name of the game is not about lead quality. We know it's a crapshoot, right? It's about volume. And you can't beat getting leads at wholesale cost, right? You can't beat that. We're cutting out the middleman. We're going directly to Facebook. That's the only person that you're paying. And then you pay the software, which is $250 a month, right? So most of your marketing dollars, you're going to get substantially better results than any lead generation company you work with. Doesn't even matter if they're the best marketer in the world. If you have more money to spend on your marketing dollars, you're gonna obviously do better.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm in, like I said, I'm in over 30 states, so I'm in a different element of it all.
Yeah, you're completely different. Well, you go to jumbo. Listen, if you're gonna do jumbo, this is not the right thing for you. I just wanted to show you because you're a tech guy. So
No, it's cool, man. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think that that works really well in like bigger markets for sure.
Yeah.
What about, do you have any Instagram elements or any others?
Yeah, it's Facebook and Instagram. And in about 9 months, we're going to have TikTok. And we are doing videos, but we're trying to figure out ways to make universal videos, which is tough, right? Because it might have to, we'd have to make over 50 of them, right? For each state.
Yeah.
And but you do have the ability to upload your own customizations. But I truly believe that this is the answer for a lot of people.
That's cool.
They can't.
What about LinkedIn and that stuff too? Are you on that platform? Because LinkedIn's coming back. I get leads from LinkedIn all the time. I have 18,000 followers on that.
So we have a secondary course. It's called Realtors on Demand. And what we do is we use a combination of LinkedIn Sales Navigator and an automation software called Meet Alfred. So we'll build a list of all the realtors in that zip code. And then what we'll do is we'll build out a campaign that's completely personalized. You can, call them out by their first name or their company name or whatever. And now because now you're a loan officer that generates your own leads, you can message all of these people and say, hey, I have a few home buyers in your area. Would you be interested in showing them around? So it's a huge value add for these loan officers. Now they're not asking them to get a cup of coffee. They're delivering value, which is separating them from the rest of the loan officers who are buying them donuts.
Yep. Cool. Right on, man. What if you can send me some information, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, dude, I'll send it to you. And again, I'm gonna take a look at Milestone AI.
Milestones is ridiculously good. So just about
put it in our Facebook community.
You should have it because it's founder of that is the old CTO of Realtor.com. We have Tom Ferry. You may know him.
I know him. Yeah.
Tom Ferry is on our board. We have Mark McLaughlin, who's the ex-COO of Compass. And
you know what you should do?
Simon Chen is the head of Anywhere, which is the biggest Realogy, Realogy, largest company in the world. He was the CEO of that company.
You know what you should do? You should get this. There's an app called Intro. Do you know what that app is? So it's this app called Intro where you could talk to entrepreneurs. You pay to talk to them. I spoke to Spencer Rasgoff. He was the former founder of Zillow. That'd be Milestone AI. It'd be cool to get in front of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have I mean, our guys are the top of the tops. They're already kind of leading the market on that stuff. But
right.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Any good connection with good people, and
right?
Good people know other good people, and that's not a bad way to build a business or build your contacts. So.
Right.
Well, man. Well, I really appreciate it. Send me some stuff, and
yeah, I'll send you some stuff. Send me some stuff on Milestone. Like I said, I'll put it in our community. I'll invite you to the Facebook group too.
Yeah.
So
and who else are you trying to get in front of on the list so I can help you?
I mean, for the Scotsman, for the podcast, and just so you know, this is totally for the podcast. I don't do this. I don't present my software to everybody on this.
Oh, it's all good, man.
You just said you're a tech guy, so
No,
I don't think this is some back end ploy to get you to.
All good, brother. All good. Yeah. Who
Yeah.
are you still looking to get a hold of, and I can try to help you?
Whoever is in the Scotsman Guide top 50, I just had a list built out. So what I do is I just send everybody an email. I'm talking to Dustin Rosenberg right now.
Yep.
The people that I sent emails out to who like haven't responded, Mark Cohen, Champanosian, Amit, at T United. I mean, pretty much if you go on the Scotsman Guide, anybody in that top 50 is who I'm
Okay.
trying to get with.
All right. Well, let me reach out to some of my friends that are in there.
That'd be
And,
awesome. And you're a great interview. So
Was it all right? Hopefully you enjoyed that. I have a different angle on things.
this was actually one of my favorite ones.
Cool, man.
Yeah. No,
If I can help you, if I can help you also, if you want to bounce ideas off me, I'm happy to be a resource too. So,
well, that's why I showed it to you. I wanted to know what your thoughts were on
I like it. I think that, AI is playing a new role in how things are done. As we all know, one of my employees' husbands is the head of ChatGPT security globally.
wow.
So I know a lot more than most people know about this stuff.
Right.
I was on a Housing Wire interview for an hour last week talking about ChatGPT, Baird, and Copilot and the differences and what it means. I would find ways to integrate, to make sure you have integrations and not that ChatGPT is not a competitor of yours, because that's the only thing you see that you should identify and address is that make sure that those tools are welcome in your environment, but those tools are only as good as the input that you get to figure out the answers.
Well, yeah, I heard Facebook is kind of doing something with AI now where they're going to make it more user friendly, where you just choose the ad from the library. So that I'm keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. And then the video stuff being relevant, localized articles, people being in the community and being leaders is where it's at. So
right.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Appreciate your time.
Yeah,
man.
have a good weekend, and thanks again. And if I can do anything, I'll send you an email with some stuff about milestones.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll keep in touch.